Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back, and we're going to take a look at our next video, and this one is entitled, Help! I Can't Find Anybody to Speak English to. So this is a very common concern that many of my clients and many of my students have when they come overseas to the United States for the first time. They're wondering, how can I find people to speak English to? Where can I go to find friends? So this is actually not that difficult of a problem to solve. It just requires you to think a little bit outside the box and venture out of your comfort zone a little bit and do things that maybe you wouldn't do in your home country. So today we're going to take a look at 3 ways in which we can meet more English speakers and become friends with them. So the first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is, if you've heard of the site meetup.com. This is a very popular site in the United States, and there are tons of groups that you can join that will have a lot of chances for you to speak English with a native speaker. So what I suggest you do is go on to meetup.com, and I'd like you to search for things and activities and events that interest you. Okay, things where you are already interested in the activity. So you're going to join that activity, and then go to the next meetup, and you're going to meet a lot of native English speakers, and you can converse with them about the topic that you're interested in. And because you're already interested in that topic, it makes it that much easier to break the ice and start those conversations with those native speakers. So I find that Meetup is a really great way to meet different people and to meet more English speakers in your daily life in the United States. Now, the second thing that I'm going to recommend that you do, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone just a little bit more, but it's going to require you to take the initiative with your colleagues and with your coworkers or with your fellow classmates if you're a student. And I know that for a lot of you coming from certain countries and certain cultures, it's not really well practiced to go out and make the first effort to introduce yourselves and to strike up a conversation and break the ice. But in this case, I'm going to recommend that you do just that. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to go up to your coworkers. You're going to go up to your classmates. You're going to go up to strangers that you meet. You can do this in coffee shops. You can do this in a library. You can do this in a museum. You can basically do this anywhere. But I want you to practice introducing yourself, getting over that hurdle, getting over that hump, and going up and introducing yourself and making that effort to have that conversation in English with other people. Now, even if you don't necessarily make a lasting friend out of the exchange, you will have a chance to practice your English, and who knows, you might run into this person again in the future, and you can talk to them. And you can continue on the conversation that you were starting in the first place. So I definitely recommend you kind of getting over that anxiety and going out and introducing yourself to native English speakers and using the English skills that you do have. Now, another way in which we can do this is to take the initiative, and if you're particularly friendly with a colleague or a group of coworkers, why not ask them out for drinks after work on a Friday? When everybody's going home, just say, "Hey, how about we go grab a drink at so and so place?" And just continue our conversation. There's nothing wrong with asking coworkers and colleagues out for drinks after work. It's a very normal, common practice here in the United States, and by doing that yourself, you actually show that you are willing to invest in a relationship with them, and that actually goes a very long way in establishing those relationships with those colleagues. Now, the last thing that I'm going to recommend that you do in order to help you meet more native English speakers is to actually get involved. And this is for parents mostly. If you're coming overseas to the United States and you're bringing your children with you, and I actually just had a colleague do this. And this worked really well for her. But her son is actually involved in the youth soccer program in her hometown. And so she actually made an effort to organize a party for all of the members of her son's team. They would come over to her house, they would eat cake, they would run around and play games because, you know, the kids were very young. But this was also a chance for for my colleague to introduce herself and get to know the parents of the other children. And that was a way to introduce herself to the community and forge those initial bonds with the other parents in the community. And now she has become very popular. She's always organizing events, and people are always wondering, always asking her, hey, when are you going to organize the next event? So it's a really great way. Organizing your own get-togethers is a great way of attracting and being able to forge relationships with native English speakers. So I hope that these tips have really helped you. And again, we look forward to seeing you in the next video, and leave a comment if you have any questions or if anything is unclear. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.